Hello and welcome. Well, what an afternoon of sport we have for you here. Obviously, this iconic and much loved event needs no introduction, an international sporting institution. The historic venue, which so many of you will recognise, has undergone some changes, more of which later. It still provides a glorious backdrop, so much part of our British sporting calendar. Well, as the car park begins to fill up and the competitors start their final preparation, let's go over to Guy Swindles to hear just how you set about putting on an event like this. Thanks, Guy. Well, nothing but state-of-the-art technology being used here. I'm joined by Penelope Travers, one of the top trainers in the sport. And Pen, what's going on here?
Oh, well, thanks, Guy. There's, as you can see, a very rigorous testing regime for the jumps. I think this new course is really going to move us forward into the 21st century.
Now, there does seem to be a lot of testing for height so far. It's crucial.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you're competing at this kind of level and working in that kind of speed, height is completely crucial for safety reasons too.
Now, we moved on to the slalom. That always seems to be controversial.
Well, you say that, but it's going to be really tough for the competitors, you're right. But what really makes it exciting for the viewers is to see these top-level performers being really pushed.
Well, thanks, Pen, and back to you, Guy. Welcome to the Media Centre, a hive of activity. I was lucky indeed to get a chair as we prepare for this afternoon's entertainment. Talking of preparations, wasn't it fascinating to see behind the scenes there how everything is put together out on the course? And now we're lucky enough to talk to the man you saw preparing everything out there, ready for the event, as Guy Swindles talks to Roy Cropper. Well, we're joined now by Roy Cropper, who is the groundsman here at the course. And, well, Roy, welcome, first and foremost. We've had really hot weather recently. What sort of condition is the course in at the moment? Well, we're expecting it to be, the conditions to be good to firm. Had a lot of hot weather recently and not much rain, so it is going to be tough out there for all the competitors. But the field had an excellent practice yesterday. We think everything went pretty well. No problems reported, so we're hoping for the very best on that front. Are there any new features we can look forward to this year? Richard Rogers came on board and has been designing some new features for the race. We're particularly excited, I guess, about Compost Turn, Skewers Brook, the Settee. We all think will prove a real challenge as far as the competitors are concerned. Really pleased with them. Now, there's been some controversy about the size of the jumps at the course and the possible dangers to the competitors. Any thoughts, any guidance you can give us on that? Well, of course, this comes up every year, doesn't it? The danger to the competitors. And it's something we've been more than aware of. Obviously, Rogers and his team of architects, and we also had a huge team of consultants, obviously, who came in and had a really good look at the facilities to make sure that it wasn't dangerous. It's taken months to build. We started work in October last year and wanted to make it as safe yet still as competitive as possible for all the competitors and of course the crowds as well, and we're expecting a lot. And thank you very much, Roy Cropper. Thank you for joining us. Hello, welcome back. Thank you very much, Roy Cropper. Now, we promised we'd also be speaking to the head of PR here, Piers Farquhar-Wild. So let's go over now and meet Piers. Are we on? What sort of field can we see later today? Yes, we do have the best field we could possibly put together, I have to say. From across the world, really, we've managed to get the very best at what they do to come to this event that we want to be the very best at which it does. Well, obviously, after what happened to last year's sponsor, and we don't want to rake that up again, understand there have been some big changes behind the scenes, Piers. Well, yes, we're so pleased with the change of sponsorship. I think it would be fair to say that this event was drifting a bit in recent years, but this has just raised us up to another level. It's really made us raise our game as well. We now have state-of-the-art facilities everywhere, including wonderful media centre, and you can see here the hospitality area, which is just fantastic. We've got 5G. Everything is set up to make this a premier event. We have Wimbledon, we have the FA Cup final, we have Cheltenham, we have the Grand National, and I think now we have this too, and that's something that is so special, and that's thanks to our wonderful new sponsor. Now, I understand it hasn't all been plain sailing, and that you've had something of an issue with the media centre? Well, yes, there was. I have to say that the sponsor, your brand, was most upset when he heard that the air conditioning in the media centre had gone. So surprising, given that it is a state-of-the-art new facility. But we had people working through the night to ensure that the globe's press, the world's correspondents had the best possible facilities from which to report this best possible event. Thank you, Piers Farquhar-Wilde. No, thank you. Well, thank you very much indeed, Piers. The excitement palpable now as we head towards the main event of the day. Viewers tuning in from around the world to see the big race. It's going to be something special. We've even got the weather changing and the conditions changing. Suddenly things aren't quite as set as they looked just a few minutes ago. In the pantheon of great sporting events, well, we've been hoping that this event would become one of the very top. With everything going our way at the moment, it could well be. Let's go over to the start line. Well, first up, it's Purdy with Ted Martin. Purdy trained to respond to very precise cues, but very slow to get going there. Good recovery, though, through compost corner and lovely technique through the weaves. Now she hits a stride going up to the tunnel. Oh, but suddenly Ted's lost it. She's in the media centre. Did something happen in there? And did something happen just there? As it is, a stride's all wrong. Oh dear, and she's reversed the jump. That'll be 4 faults. Ted beginning to lose the plot here. She's over the skewers, but suddenly she's refused at the settee. That's 8 points. Disaster for the pair of them. Well, we're hearing now that the stewards are unhappy with something that happened in that round. It certainly looked to us in commentary as if something was passed to the dog on the tunnel turn. And looking at the trainer's face, he's clearly unhappy. So real drama here then, as we await the judge's ruling. It's just coming through to me now. And he is going to be allowed to run again. There will be a second run of that lap.
It's a tight start.
Neat footwork.
That's way better. She's round. She's over.
Up to the city. Oh, no problem this time. It's a clear round. Ted and Purdy back in the game. Well, thank you so much for joining us, but I'm afraid that is it as far as we're concerned. The elements have beaten us. Such a shame for the huge crowds that turned up, and the sponsors who, of course, have put so much money into trying to make this event the success that it has been. No expense has been spared, as I think you can see from everything that you have seen so far today. But with that in mind, it's now thank you so much from all the team, and see you again next time.